All right, so welcome back to the greenhouse. Here we are, episode number 2 in the sovereignty series. So, thank you for everyone showing up. Thank you for your likes, comments, shares, subscriptions. If you subscribed, please subscribe so that you don't miss, the next episode in the series. Okay, so this is episode number 2. Once again, I will say, like I do, that if you want to pause right here, grab yourself a cup of tea, coffee, whatever it is that you want to drink, your water, go and grab that now. And when you come back, we will begin. Okay. Emotional sovereignty, right? We're going to talk about emotional sovereignty. Stop managing everybody else's feelings. Stop managing everybody else's feelings. Uh, we're not doing that. We're not doing that anymore. That's not the gig anymore. That the jig is the fuck up. What? Got to manage my emotions, your emotions, the kids' emotions. Okay, kind of went off. Let me get back on task here. Back on task. Let me get back on task. Back on task. So in the last episode, we talked about, sovereignty. We talked about being the final authority over your life. But today we're going to narrow this down to we're talking about the emotional sovereignty, right? Because most women don't struggle with physical independence. We struggle with emotional sovereignty. Emotional sovereignty means you are responsible for your emotions. You are not responsible for managing everybody else's. You are responsible for your emotions. You are not responsible for managing everybody else's. And that distinction changes everything. Okay. We got a little bit of construction going on. So everything is a sign, right? So that, you know what that means. You might not know what that means. I'm gonna take it as a sign of reconstructing. When you're reconstructing something, you might have to dismantle some things and tear some things down in order to rebuild. Normally, you dig out a foundation before you build a house. They set the concrete, they build out the basement or whatever, and boom, 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 right? Eventually you got a whole building, or a whole skyscraper, or the old structure was bad, they had to bulldoze the old structures down and get them all out the way in order for them to come in and build and put in the new buildings, the new structures to go to replace um what was originally there, right? Because what was originally there is no longer working, and is no longer stable in that current era, or in the current time, right? So, what is emotional sovereignty? Emotional sovereignty is the ability to feel your emotions without suppressing them, to be able to express your emotions without attacking other people. So we're not attacking people. We're going to learn how to articulate ourselves in a way that other people are not feeling attacked, or where we're not directly like rah 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 when we're talking to somebody else, right? We're going to allow others to feel what they feel, what they're feeling, and we're not trying to fix that. We're not going to try to fix what they're feeling to make them feel another type of way. No. No, no, no. It is holding your boundary even when someone else is disappointed. Okay. It means I can feel discomfort without abandoning myself. I can feel discomfort without abandoning myself. I can feel discomfort without abandoning myself. So, yeah. Yeah, I had to say that a couple times. So what emotional non-sovereignty looks like, right? It's apologizing when somebody else is upset. It's changing your decision because somebody reacted strongly. Changing your decision because somebody reacted strongly. It's over explaining to calm somebody down. It's feeling guilty for setting a boundary. It's staying in conversations that drain you. It's trying to fix somebody's mood so that you can relax. It sounds like what that sounds like, right? It sounds like, oh, I didn't want to upset you, or I didn't want you to be mad. I don't want you to be upset. I don't want you to be mad. Oh, I didn't want it to be awkward. That conversation. Oh, I didn't want it to be awkward. I don't want you to be upset. I don't want you to be mad. So, yeah. If somebody else's disappointment makes you override your own needs, you are not emotionally sovereign. So, if somebody else's disappointment makes you override what you need, whatever boundary you may have, you are not emotionally sovereign. Okay? And that is not a character flaw. That is conditioning. That's conditioning. hmm Now, why do we do this? Why do we do that? Why do we? There are so many reasons why we do those things. So many reasons, but we're gonna so many goddamn reasons why we do those things, right? But we're conditioned this way, right? Raised up in environments that have instilled that way of being in us, right? In some cases, it's can be societal conditioning as well. So most pleasing, emotional people pleasing, most emotional people pleasing comes from three places. Three places. So we got the fear of rejection. If love was conditional, conflict feels threatening, right? Then we have nervous system dysregulation. If you were raised around volatility, your body learned to neutralize tension quickly. Identity attachment, having to be the calm one or the understanding one, um, have just become a part of who you are. Other adults, say this, other adults are responsible for their emotional regulation, not you. Let me say that again. Other adults are responsible for their emotional regulation, not you. It's not your fucking job to help somebody else regulate their goddamn emotions in the moment. It's not your job. You can't. In some cases, it's draining. It keeps us pouring from empty fucking cups all the goddamn time, constantly having to help somebody check their shit. So, this the fuck? It's 2026. We're not. I said, I'm 46. I'm going through perimenopause. I I said what I said. Okay. And let me say this one more. I just say this shit for the people in the back. Other adults are responsible for their emotional regulation, not you. It's not your job. You are not responsible to regulate somebody else's emotions. It's not even their own. Like, if somebody's even a therapist, it's not your therapist's job to help to regulate your emotions. I can equip you with the tools to help you figure out what's the best tool for you to regulate your emotions, but it's not my job to on the spot all the time in any given situation help you regulate your emotions. That's we not okay. Next up, we're gonna move on to the next thing. So, compassion versus control. Compassion versus control. Compassion says, I understand that you're upset. I understand. Control says, I need you to not be upset so that I can feel okay. Compassion says, I understand that you are upset. I understand that you're upset, baby. Baby girl, baby boy. I understand that you are upset. I understand. I do. Control says, I need you to not be upset so that I can be and feel okay. In order for me to feel okay, I need you to not be upset. That's control. Okay? If someone is disappointed because you set a boundary, you know what you can say to that? You can say, I understand that this is frustrating for you. Um, but you're still not going to change your boundary in that given situation. You can be compassionate towards them. So if somebody is disappointed that you set a boundary, you can say, you know what? I understand. I understand that you are upset. I understand that, you know what? This situation, this could be, but this, this is frustrating for you. I get that. I completely, 100%, I get that. And as you say that, remember, you are not, do not change your stance point on the boundary that you set. Okay? Don't double back. We're not doubling back on our boundaries. No, 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 no. No. Emotional sovereignty means allowing other people to have their emotions about your decisions without collapsing. Let me say that again. Emotional sovereignty means allowing other people to have their emotions about your decisions without you collapsing on your decision that you made that they are now getting all emotional about, right? Right? Mhm. Let's let's talk about some examples. Let's talk about some examples, some real life examples, right? So you say no to plans, right? They got an attitude now. They feel some type of way. They feeling some type of way because you said, "No, I don't wanna go. I don't no." Somebody, "You wanna go, girl? You wanna go out?" "No, no." Now they got an attitude, "Well, what you mean no? What do you mean no?" "Oh, well," and then and your the old pattern, the old pattern, the conditioning, the old pattern, that old conditioning says you now change your mind. "Oh, well, maybe You know what? Let me think about it. Sure, I'll go. I'll go. Maybe I could go out with it, just for a little bit, even though that's not what you feel like doing. That's not was not on your agenda. Was not on any of your plans. It's not none of the things that you. None of the things, right? Excuse me. I'm gonna eat some of this apple I got going on here. So, what I want you to do, I want you to hold on to your no. That's that new pattern. This is us changing to help you, help us step into trying to unlearn, right? We're learning how to unlearn. And these are some of the actions that you can take. The old pattern, you change your mind. You doubling back. The new pattern is you're holding on to your no. No. Don't care about your attitude, how you feel about nothing, none of that. None of that. No, I don't feel no. You don't even have to explain. So, example number 2, we're going to talk about that. You set a boundary at work, right? Your boss seems irritated. So now you're overperforming to compensate because your boss seems irritated because you set a boundary. That's the old pattern. Then you overperform to compensate for that. No, no. The new pattern is you're going to stay consistent in that no. We're doubling down on the no. We're doubling down on sticking to the boundary. I'm not doing that. And I'm not saying don't do your job, but there are situations where where you're when you're being taken advantage of. We're not in the business of being taken advantage of. We're not going to do that anymore. We're going to set that boundary, and that's how that's going to work. So that's just another example. What's another example? Another example is you get into a heated debate with your partner, and all of a sudden now, you know we got silence going on. It's quiet, real quiet. It's real quiet. Now the old pattern would be to try to fix the quiet. You got jokes, you're trying to lighten the mood, get that old thing back. No. The new pattern is you regulate yourself and you give yourself space, or you give them space to sit with whatever they're feeling about the conversation or the conflict that you two were involved in. We're not chasing motherfuckers down the street. We're not calling 50, 11 million times and trying to force people to see that. No, no, we're not. No, no, we're standing. Oh, you feel that type? Okay, well, sit with that. Let them think it through. Make yourself a cup of coffee. Make yourself a cup of tea. Shit, make yourself a drink. Turn on your movie, your Netflix, or whatever whatever you're gonna do, or turn your music on, put your headphones on, take that walk, do a yoga, do a workout, uh, go for a run. Give the individual the part the space to sit and be in their feelings, to feel what they're feeling, and that's that. So here are some ways to begin sort of practicing, you know, trying to, your emotional sovereignty, right? Taking back that, reclaiming that, right? One, name the emotion in your body. Do you, are you feeling anxious? Are you feeling guilty? Are you feeling tense? Are you feeling anger? Are you feeling sadness? What are you feeling? What is the emotion that you're feeling, in, I would say, in any given situation, right? In any given situation. And then ask yourself, is this mine or am I absorbing somebody else's shit? Is this mine, this emotion that I'm feeling, or is this somebody else's shit I'm feeling? And then I want you to sit with that for a good, sit with it for a good 90 seconds. That's what is that? 90 seconds, it's a minute and a half. Sit with that before you react. Sit with that a little bit before you react. You go reacting to whatever the situation is at hand, whether it is you set the boundary and the motherfucker won't act like they, all of a sudden because you said no when you set a boundary, it's too much. And they're not gonna be used to it. Sit back and relax, um, and sit in that before you go, trying to help somebody else, another adult, regulate their emotions because they feel some type of way about the boundary that you set, about you saying no and them feeling however they're feeling. And then we're not trying to change how people feel and doubling back on our own personal stuff for other people, right? Number 4, replace over explaining with a clear sentence or statement. So instead of saying, oh, I'm sorry, I just didn't want to upset you or didn't want to make you upset. You know what? No, that doesn't work for me. No, that does not work. That does not work for me. No. No is a complete, to be honest, no is a complete sentence. Took me a while to get that one. It took me a while to get that one because I've had plenty of times in my life where I was not emotionally sovereign. Now, I don't have a choice because it's either you or me, and I choose me. I have to choose me over and over and over again because if I don't, I will begin to feel depleted, right? So, a clear sentence as opposed to over explaining yourself or, why you have set that boundary, right? Short, keep it clear. You're done. We're short, clear, and done. To the point. Boom. That's it. No explaining why. No. No. So, and just to be clear, emotional sovereignty is not coldness, it's maturity. So it's not you being cold. This is you being it's you being mature. Okay. So today, I want you to just notice where you override your needs to meet somebody else's to to meet somebody else's expectations, or to where you override your needs to manage somebody else's emotions. Um, because that awareness is the shift. You being aware that it's happening is the shift. You being aware that you're now doubling back or whatever have you, and trying to overcompensate for things, or trying to, changing how you're doing what you do or what you said now because somebody else got upset, and then you're changing your response because your initial response made them feel some type of way. It's the ability for you to stay grounded while and allowing other people to just feel what they feel. That's the shift. The shift is going to be you being able to stand strong, or stand, what's the new saying now? Stand 10 toes down on allowing other people to feel what they feel, and not allowing what how somebody else feels dictate how you move. Okay? So I want you to go back to the ritual. If the link is in the, below, or my bio, or no, it's not in my bio. The link is below to the ritual. It is on my website. The ritual is on the website. It's free 19. I keep saying that it's free 19. So, but I want you to go back to step 2 and practice that. It's the release breath. So with each exhale, I want you to name one emotion that you've been carrying that belongs to somebody else. Okay? And actually allow your body to release it, not just understand it, but to actually release it and let it go. With that breath, as you you know name it. And if that comes with, tears or whatever have you, that's okay. For you to be able, to take back your taking this step to take back your emotional sovereignty. It's needed. So if this resonated with you, I want you to subscribe, share this with another woman who needs it, and in the next episode, which would then be episode number 3, we are going to go even deeper. Okay? And I'll see you there. Stay rooted, y'all. Stay rooted. Okay?